Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize.
Vice Chancellors, Center leaders, professors and all academicians here, our partners from the productive sector, students, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. I'm Jude Sebufu from Uganda Martyrs University, and I'm the center leader for the Center of Excellence in Agroecology and the Livelihood Systems. Uganda Martyrs University happens to be the only private university in this S2 project. Now, I would like to make a few clarifications on the presentation. One, in the discussion about centers of excellence, we are going to be limited to the 24 centers of excellence in the SC2 project. There are so many centers of excellence within Africa and beyond, but our discussion is precisely on the 24 centers of excellence. Secondly, my hypothesis in this presentation is that the architecture of the S2 project formidably focuses on industrialization, which is in fact the key issue we are going to discuss in this presentation. And three, this presentation will have 3 key points. The first one will be an overall summary of the architecture of the S2 project. Then the second point, will be an inference from the architecture of the project. We shall be looking at the role of the centers of excellence in industrialization. And then the last part, the third part, we look at selected centers of excellence within the SC2 project and their initiatives as far as industrialization is concerned. Now, with regard to the first part, the overall project development objective of the SC2 project is to strengthen selected African higher education institutions to deliver high quality postgraduate education and build collaborative research in order to enhance development. So that is the overall development objective of the project SC2. Now, the SC2 project addresses real problems that we are facing within Africa. Here we are not talking about abstracts. Real problems of development that the African countries are facing. And so the selection of the 24 centers of excellence was based on proposals whose focus was to address specific development objectives in one of the areas outlined. Industrialization is a very big issue, Agriculture, we are aware that over 70% of the population within Africa depend on agriculture for their livelihoods. And when it comes to the rural areas where the majority of people live, it goes even up to 85%. Health, education, and particularly science education, STEM, ICT, and applied statistics, and then oil and gas, which is a new industry coming up in a number of African countries. Now, according to the architecture of this project, there are defined outputs that centers of excellence must produce. And these outputs are measurable. Yesterday, Professor Mugenda told us that what is not measurable cannot be attained. Now, first of all the SCs are supposed to develop high-quality curricula. Curricula that addresses the real problems within Africa. 2, these SCs are supposed to enroll more than 3,500 graduate students within the region. And this is within the 5 years of the project cycle. Of these, 7,000 must be PhDs, first-class PhDs. Not PhDs whose thesis, as the chair of Chamber of Commerce of Tanzania noted yesterday, cannot be taken somewhere to produce. So, these theses must produce something for Africa. And out of these 3,500 graduate students, around a third are supposed to be females. Each one of us knows the big role of females in development. We are supposed also to publish, and therefore at least over 1,500 research articles must be published in high-impact journals in these 5 years of the project. We are supposed also to launch more than 300 collaborations. Many presenters yesterday, including Professor Oliver Mugenda, emphasized the fact that without collaboration, without partnership, you cannot go ahead. So, over 300 collaborations are going to be launched. And these are collaborations not only between higher education institutions, but also and above all with the private sector, with public sector, with civil society, with communities, to ensure that what is carried out within the SCs have impact on society. And then the SCs are also supposed to generate close to $30 million within this period. Now, the other very important aspect of the project, which makes us really work very hard, is that it is a results-based project, whereby the higher the impact, the more the results you are able to attain, the more the amount of money you get from World Bank. So money is disbursed, funds are disbursed basing only on achievement, on performance, on delivery. Now, I'm coming to the second part. Inferring from the first part, I would like to come up with the key role of SCs in industrialization. One, SCs, African Centers of Excellence, are supposed to develop relevant curricula. And I would like to stress the word relevant. For so long, many universities have remained irrelevant. Universities have tended to be ivory towers. They are not reached by the ordinary people. They do not impact society. Now, as far as the SCs are concerned, we are supposed to come up with curricula that are relevant to society and, for that matter, to the development of our continent. Therefore, this would call for collaboration with industry, collaboration with professional bodies, collaboration with civil societies, collaboration with research institutions to ensure that we come up with a curricula that can address the problems we have within Africa. No longer, we are not going to be abstract in thinking and in action. Two, centers of excellence have a role to produce a pool of excellent African scientists, researchers, and human resources that are able to tackle African problems. Late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere said that we need African solutions to African problems. This is exactly what the SCs are meant to do in order to enhance development and industrialization within the region. The third role is the partnership. Partnering with the productive sector. And I prefer to use the word productive sector rather than private, public, because I would think productive sector probably is wider. It includes also civil society, it includes also the community. So we are supposed to partner such that we are able to carry out relevant research, we are able to add value, we are able to create new business solutions that address the problems we are facing within Africa. 4, generation of external revenue. SCs have a role to generate money that can be used to enhance development, but also and above all to ensure that after the 5-year period of the project, these centers of excellence can live on. They are supposed to outlive the project period. And so we are supposed to galvanize all efforts to get money that will assist us to move ahead and be able to continue being the light as far as innovation and development of new technologies relevant for our African problems is concerned. And then the SCs, as far as enhancing industrialization is concerned, they are supposed to ensure that women are empowered. And here I'm talking about empowerment through proper education and training at higher education level and specifically postgraduate level. Now I would like to turn to the third part. The third part looks at initiatives of selected ACs. As I said, there are 25 ACs, but we've sampled just a few to look at their initiatives as far as industrialization is concerned. In Ethiopia, I've selected a center at Addis Ababa University called African Railway Education and Research Institute. We are all aware of the rail industry that is booming within Africa, and particularly Eastern Southern Africa. But at the same time, I'm sure we are aware that we do lack the required manpower.
3 minutes.
And for that matter, this Center of Excellence was instituted to be a center that is going to produce the best of the best in handling railway education. They have PhD programs, and they work with a number of Chinese railway corporations and the government of Ethiopia to ensure that they produce the necessary human resource in this area. As far as this wonderful country, Kenya, is concerned, permit me to mention the Center of Excellence in Sustainable Use of Insects as Food and Feeds at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology. This center is already producing or manufacturing. They use insects like crickets, grasshoppers to produce very nutritious foods for people. They produce biscuits, and I think they are outside there in the exhibition, but they also make use of the resource of insects, and specifically the larvae for the black soldier fly to produce feeds for cattle that have a lot of proteins. In Zambia, permit me to mention of the Copper Belt University that has a Center of Excellence for Sustainable Mining. I'm sure each one of us is aware that for a very long period of time, Zambia used to be the biggest producer of copper, but it is no longer. And this was because of the mismanagement of the mining industry. Now, the center was established to address the problem of unsustainable exploitation of mining of copper, and they are providing the necessary programs to ensure that there is sustainable mining.
Can you please wind up?
Probably let me end with Uganda, which is my country. Uganda Martyrs University, where I come from, we have a Center of Excellence in Agroecology and Livelihood Systems. Each one of us is aware what is happening to our nature, what is happening to our environment, the problems with climate change, the problems with foods that have a lot of artificial inputs. So we came up with this center that emphasizes organic farming. Organic farming, which is very sustainable, and at the same time, given the fact that in Africa, one of the biggest challenges is decadence in monofiber, Uganda Martyrs University, through this center, does have programs in ethics and integrity to ensure that development is carried out with an appropriate mind, soul, and body to be able to have development that is sustainable. In the interest of time, Chair, let me just conclude with some challenges that we are facing as ACs, probably whose solutions we can discuss together in this forum. One, there is some lukewarm response from a section of private sector or industry for the reasons I think that Professor, I think was Jürgen yesterday, talked about. That maybe in Africa we don't have yet the entrepreneurial spirit. Secondly, there is a limited number of regional students wanting to cross over from their own countries to other countries to study. And this is more particular to the females. They wouldn't like to travel from their own countries, and it is a challenge. Yet, this project is supposed to be a regional project where there is exchange of students from various countries within the region. And then, there is lack of policy frameworks for regional accreditation of programs in order to advance properly the AC2 goals. In conclusion, I would...
Can you please, you're past your time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to thank heartily IUCA for organizing this forum. And on behalf of the ACs, I would like to thank our governments within the region for having supported this AC2 project. We do promise to ensure that we produce the results as we put them in our implementation plans. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gill. Thank you.
As for me, I will serve the